welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today I just want to start by saying that we have a long one. This is going to be a pretty long video, but it's super autumnal, super cozy, and I encourage you to get a snack, get yourself a blanket, a cup of tea. I have myself a cup of tea right now. I actually was going to make hot chocolate, but we didn't have any, so I was like, do you know what, I'll have a cup of tea. And it's in the cutest little pumpkin mug that I got from B&M, and it's so cute, and I feel so festive right now. I'm wrapped in a blanket. You can't see me right now, but I'm wrapped in a blanket. I have my Harry Potter hoodie on, which I guess you could argue is a bit more Christmassy than autumn, but you know, the vibe is there. But yeah, I encourage you to, get a little snack or something, a little drink, because this is a long one and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. You do not understand how long I've been waiting to share this. And with that, I want to apologize for how long this video is taking to get out, but this was a long one. Now, I believe the raw footage of this build was around 8 or 9 hours, unedited, uncut, everything like that. 8 or 9 hours, so it took me quite a long time to build this. Now, I do not show absolutely every single aspect, like I don't show me decorating the inside of every single little home. In fact, I should probably tell you what we're building today. If you hadn't got it from the title or from the thumbnail, we are doing some Hobbit homes, and I wanted to do a spin on this and make them autumnal because why not? Like, I feel like that is just the perfect little thing. I don't know. I really love this idea. Now, I really wanted to do Hobbit holes. I've seen lots of people do them before, and I just felt so inspired to do them. Now, originally I wasn't going to add any kind of like water theme until I seen this amazing creator that goes by the name of Simsfinny. I'm going to link her in the description. A big shout outs to her. She did an amazing like Hobbit hole build, and hers seemed to be like more closely related to the Shire. Not exactly. I had watched it and I don't think it was exactly that down to a T, but I feel like it was more inspired that way than mine. But she had this beautiful waterfall in hers, and I thought that was such a cool idea, so I wanted to add that to mine. And yeah, I just thought I would say, because that's where I originally seen that get done, and I was like, I want to include something similar. But yeah, big shout outs. Her channel will be in the description down below. But yeah, so today is a super fun one. It's a super big one. You'll see a lot of like the tool mod, you'll see a lot of terrain tool, me just messing about with different things, because let me tell you, like, this was not an easy build, but I enjoy these builds so much. I've talked about it a little bit before, but I love anything that includes a lot of terrain manipulation. And I think the reason is because it feels very like me. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm able to make something that hasn't been done. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, when I'm manipulating the terrain, it's kind of like I'm just creating shapes. I'm just doing what I want to do, and I'm just hoping for this really good outcome. And it's like, the chances that I make something that looks like someone else's is pretty low. So I just love playing with terrain. I love it so much. I feel like there's just so many possibilities, so many ways to get creative, and I love myself a challenge, although I will say it's much easier to build on like flat land. Definitely much easier, but I wasn't going for easiness here. I was literally just going for what I wanted to look really nice, and I think this works really well. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today, and I do not show, as I was saying before, I don't show me doing like every single little home, just because I thought that would be a little bit overkill. Now, I want to start by saying as well, I didn't just include homes, I also included some like little functional builds that I thought if you wanted to use this for a family, for a community, for anything, they'd have places to go. So within this build, there is a cafe, a bar, a library, and then also like a little farming like pumpkin patch, which was just so on theme for this build, because again we're going for that autumnal vibe. And yeah, there's lots of things like that. There's kind of outdoor seating, and then the rest of it is pretty much just homes. Now you could definitely use this with the expansion pack for rent if you wanted to have like multiple Sims living here. Or if you don't want to do that, you could just have families live in different ones and then like lock the doors. I feel like that would work really nicely. Otherwise, you could probably just use it as, a house if you wanted to. Yeah, now something I made sure to include was a lot of autumnal trees. Now, I really wanted this to feel like autumn, that was my main goal. And so I made sure to, build an autumn. That was my first thing. And then I made sure to make all the trees very autumnal, very orange and yellow. And I think it worked so nicely. You'll have to let me know what you think of this build. It is on the gallery, so feel free to download it. My gallery ID is just iHanza. And on that note, I also have an Instagram if you did not know. My Instagram is iHanzaYT. It will be linked below as well. But I post on there a lot. I post a lot of updates, especially if I'm kind of like overdue on videos, or like, there's any problems and stuff. I always make sure to let my Instagram know. And so yeah, definitely feel free to follow me over there. I really appreciate it. I love my little Instagram community. I feel like it's so nice over there. And yeah, feel free to be a part of it and join us. But anyway, we're starting off on like the little hobbit holes. Now, I do want to say, this is not overly inspired by like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, but at the same time it sort of is, you know what I mean? Like, of course it is, because that's the whole premise. It's the hobbit holes, like it's like The Hobbit, it's like Lord of the Rings. But I didn't really base it from the movies, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't go into detail. Now, my brother is a massive fan of Lord of the Rings, and I have seen them all. I watched them when I was very young, and I remember one of them like to a T. And honestly, it was really good, but I don't remember the other ones, and so I definitely want to get around to watching them this year. I mean, we're in October right now, so I'm trying to think. I'm thinking if I can watch all of the Lord of the Rings, like, in the next 3 months, that would be great. I mean, there's only 3 movies, and then we have the Hobbit movies, which, let me know, do you guys like the Hobbit movies? Do you not? Are you more of a Lord of the Rings fan? I know that my brother is definitely more like Lord of the Rings. But I think he also does like The Hobbit. But yeah, I really want to watch them all. I want to watch them properly. I'm a big like Harry Potter fan, Star Wars fan. I like Percy Jackson. So I feel like I'm missing out, you know? You know what I mean? Like Lord of the Rings. I also, one of my really good friends, she loves Lord of the Rings as well. Like, she is such an advocate, and she's always like, you need to watch it. So yeah, let me know. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that it's not really based off of it, but at the same time it is. I did have a lot of like photos from Pinterest that were The Hobbit that I was looking at, and I was kind of trying to gain inspo, but at the same time I definitely wasn't trying to replicate it. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but you get it. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what I was saying, because I do this thing where I go on tangents. You'll have to excuse me if you're new to the channel. I just talk and talk and talk, and then sometimes I forget what I was even talking about. But we're building the little homes right now, and there ends up being much more than this. I also end up like adding on to the back a little bit more to make it just a little bit more dimensional, but I just love this build so much. I honestly can't express how much I love it. Now, I did create a lot of like little pathways and stuff so that it's easier to see where your Sims can walk. I didn't want there to be any confusion with pathing. Is that the word? I think that's the word. Sims do this thing where if they can't walk somewhere, they will let you know. They will, you know what I mean? Like, Sims are the first to be like, I can't get over there. And also, if they're anything like my Sims, they won't tell you why, which is great. So I decided to do it like little pathways so you can see like the route I had intended for your Sims to walk. I also play tested it so your Sims should be able to walk like everywhere in here. Everything should be accessible. Please let me know otherwise. I know that sometimes things can work on my end and not work on your end, and I hate that. I hate the inconsistencies with that, but you know, that's just the Sims, unfortunately. But yeah, we're building a little bridge just here. Now, I do end up adding another bridge to this. And the reason I did that is because I liked the floor of that bridge, but I liked the sides of the other bridge. So I end up merging them and it looks really nice. But here we're starting off with the first home, and I went in so much detail with it, but I love it. I kept this throughout all of them. They're all very detailed and they're all very different. Now, most of the insides are not replicated. They're all like very different, and I added like different character to each interior. Some of them I had copied and changed swatches and just like moved around slightly, but for the most part everything is pretty like unique and different. But yeah, it was hard because there was so many of them, but I tried to do it as much as possible because I felt like that would be a little bit more realistic and fun for you guys, and that's what my my what's the word my priority was. Sorry, I've got the after work brain right now, which is, I've talked about it before. It's when I come home from work and my brain stops working. It's just, I feel like it's just a common thing at this point, but I need to mention it. Yeah, every house is decorated very different, and I tried to keep everything very cohesive. I wanted everything to go together, but at the same time, I don't know, I wanted things to be unique as well. So yeah, there ends up being like a little, that was the bar I was doing up there, and next to that there ends up being like a little market, and it works out really nicely. I love it. Now, something that is annoying, I added a lot of like the floor pebble things, but the problem is, because this is all like terrained, it's kind of hard to have them everywhere because you can't put them on slants. So that was the only issue. So they end up just being in like designated areas, which I think works really fine. Like, I think it looks great, but yeah, I just thought I'd say in case you wondered why I didn't keep that throughout. I wish I could have, but even like working out the tool mod for that was just too much for my brain. You know, I gave up with that. I was like, it's fine. We'll just have them on the bottom and like a few on the top. But yeah, I really like this build. I'm so excited for you guys to like see the finished result. I also played around with my shaders a little bit, so if you notice that anything looks different or weird, that might be why. I honestly love how my shaders look at the moment. If you don't know, I got a new PC like quite a while ago now, and since then I've been trying to like work out the best like layout for my shaders, and I think I finally found one that I really like, but I don't know. I really like it, but yeah, it's kind of like a trial and error because sometimes I'll load in and I'll be like, I don't really like the shaders with this specific build and such, but yeah, I'm sure the shaders change like halfway through this build, possibly, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's a big like drastic thing, but yeah, I thought I'd mention it. Now, something I wanted to bring up, not in relation to this build, but we just received some new kits and I have not spoken about them, so I'm gonna speak a little bit right now. So the two kits that we got, one of them was a artist kit, and then one of them was like a nursery kit. I believe the nursery one is called Storybook, and I don't know what the other one's called, but I know that it's like for an artist. And the objects look so good. I've already got them because I love anything like that. I'm just so excited to play around with them. I really want to do like 2 builds for them. I already have an idea for both of them. I think I'm gonna do Two very different builds for both of them, but I'm not too sure. Like, would you guys want to see a build? Or would you want to see an apartment? Because I have an idea for both. I mean, I could definitely do both. Let me know if you'd want to see both. I might do a little poll on my channel just to see. There's definitely no rush for that. I'm trying to get, like, what's it called? My Halloween and autumnal stuff out first, just because that's obviously, like, it's the big rush, you know? It's gonna be Halloween soon. Like, let's talk about Halloween once I've spoken about the kits. Oh my brain is in overdrive. But yeah, I'm hoping to get some videos out featuring those kits. I don't want to leave it too late because I want it to still be like when the kit is nice and fresh, but at the same time I'm just trying so hard to get some of the Halloween and autumnal stuff out. But yeah, so my first impressions, I feel like is it Paint or Studio? I think I made that up. Did I make that up? Do you know what? There's no shame in it. I'm gonna look it up. There's no shame in it. I'm just gonna look it up because I feel like it's gonna annoy me. But anyway, that one to me looked so good. Like, I love anything to do with like artists, anything to do with like painting and like that messy kind of look. I just love it. So I'm so excited about that. It's called the Artist Studio Kit. Okay, that's good to know. Artist Studio Kit. That's really nice to know. I'm so excited to use it. I love the items in it. They look so fun. Also, gameplay wise, I feel like it would be really nice. And yeah, the other one we got was the storybook one. And my first impression, I feel like to me, it doesn't look super storybook, but I love the way it looks. I think it is so cute. But to me, I don't know. I feel like it's not storybook. But like, I might be wrong. Definitely let me know if you think otherwise and you think like, no, it definitely is. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's not given storybook. But maybe when I go into a game and I use it, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's giving storybook. But either way, I love them. They look so fun. And I'm so excited to play around with them. Now, let's get into the autumnal Halloween talk because I am itching. So yeah, it's gonna be Halloween in 30 days and that's scary. That's really scary, but I'm excited about it because I love Halloween. Autumn is my favorite season, but it's weird because Christmas is my favorite holiday. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, I love Halloween as well, and I really want to dress up. But I don't know if I'll share me dressing up on here. I don't know. Like, I've never done that before, but we'll see. I have a few ideas in mind though of what I want to do. But yeah, I have so many like builds planned. I know that I have at least 2 more builds coming in the next 2 weeks, and I'm also trying to get like other ones out in between that. So yeah, I'm hoping for like lots of videos. It has been hard. I said in my last video how like my shifts are going to be changing, so like that's kind of a whole thing. But either way, like YouTube always top priority for me. I literally come home and I edit, I build, I do everything. I just like, YouTube is to me my creative outlet. You know, some people like they draw and so, I mean, I love to draw as well, but people draw, they paint, you know, they play music. Again, I like to do that, but I feel like my true creative outlet is The Sims, and I just love creating things, especially for you guys. You guys are like the nicest people ever. Like, I read the comments sometimes and I'm like, and these people are so nice. And yeah, it honestly brings such a smile on my face, like how nice everyone is. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I just want to say thank you, because I feel like I don't say it enough. And yeah, I'm so thankful, like so beyond thankful. I mean, if you told me like a year ago that I would be making videos and have like such a lovely audience where like, yeah, and like I've hit 4,000 subs, I wouldn't have believed you. So thank you all so much. But anyway, that was off topic, but I felt like it needed to be said. We are individually placing a bunch of rocks, and I'm sorry that this is super boring. I really debated keeping this in, and I decided to keep it in, but I decided to take out all the footage of me placing rocks, like the big rocks, around this build, because oh my, it was like, even for me, it was boring. It was boring for me to do, and it was boring for me to watch. And I was like, I'm not putting you guys through that, okay? I care for you. I'm not gonna put you through it. But anyway, I'm hoping that you are liking this build so far. We are decorating our second little home right now, and then I think I move on to the bar, which is fun. I love the way the bar looks. Because these builds are so small, because of course like they're little Hobbit homes and they're tiny, everything is so cute. Like, it's given chibi, you know? I love how small everything is. Like, the bar is small, the cafe's small, everything's so little, and I love it. There's like a little library and everything. There was definitely more like that I did want to add, but I just didn't feel like it fit in. And as much as it maybe would have been nice, I didn't want to cram stuff in. I felt like that maybe wasn't the way to go. I feel like there's nothing worse than, like, I don't know, like me trying to include stuff and it just doesn't fit. So I was like, do you know what? I'll go with what I've got. I think it works really nicely. But yeah, I really like this build. But yeah, by the way, in terms of tray files, I have no idea how to share them. Sometimes people ask about tray files, and I've said before, I'm like, I don't understand them. I know that you can do some file share, but when I did that before, it said I needed like a code or something, or like confirmation. If you are wanting me to do tray files, please let me know how to do it, or even like if you have a link to someone that can explain it. I tried to look up before and I think my brain just couldn't understand it, but I will try and like work that out again, because I know some people appreciate the tray files and I do feel really bad that I never have them for you guys. But yeah, that's the reason. It's not because I like don't care, it's because I don't know how to. I'm like an old woman. But yeah, if you have any idea, I would, it would be greatly appreciated if you would let me know. But yeah, don't need to worry about it right now. I will try and figure it out as much as I can. But yeah, so I think we're gonna move on to possibly maybe a home and then a cafe. I'm trying to figure out the order in which I do things. I feel like I do the cafe next, or possibly the little pumpkin patch, which I loved. Definitely a staple. Now, I have been wanting to go to a pumpkin patch for the last like two Halloweens now, but I don't really have any near me. I feel like they're all kind of out of the way and they're all very expensive. I don't know. Personally, I don't actually like the flavor of pumpkins, which I feel like is like controversial because some people love it. I carved a pumpkin once, and I went like so extra with it. Keep in mind, I'd never carved a pumpkin. So I don't know who I thought I was. I made this like cat with a hat on. According to my boyfriend, it did not look like a cat with a hat on, but I feel like it did look like a cat with a hat on, okay? It was meant to be like a little witchy cat, which I feel like it did, but he would tell you otherwise. And yeah, we had to like scoop the inside and it was gross. And like a lot of people make like pumpkin soup out of that, but me, I don't know. Something about pumpkin, it's just not my thing, which is weird because I feel like I enjoy pumpkin spice lattes, but then I don't remember the last time I've had one. So then I'm like, is this just a little like thing in my brain? You know, when you have something when you're like a child and you don't like it, so you never eat it again. It might be like that. I think I might just need to, try it again. But yeah, I feel like it's a lot of money for me to go to a pumpkin patch and then not even eat the pumpkin. But I suppose if I'm carving it, I don't know. What do you guys think? I love pumpkin patches though. I feel like they're so fun. But yeah, I feel like they're all very out of the way from me, which is annoying. And then yeah, it's just like working out when to go and stuff. But yeah, I love a pumpkin patch, and so I had to include it in this build. That's where I was going with that story, but I got off topic as always. But yeah, that is what we're doing right now. So this ends up being the pumpkin patch, and it is so cute. And again, it's so small. Everything is so small, but it just works so well. I kind of love it so much. Like, I don't know, the smaller things are, the cuter. Now, you would think like with everything being small, it was much easier for me to decorate, but honestly, no, because the amount of clutter I like to include and the amount of detail, it was kind of difficult. You know, I wanted everything to be like exact and how I wanted it to be. And I don't know. I definitely would love to hear what you think. Do you like builds like these? Because if so, I would love to do more. I try and do these kind of like creative builds when I have the time to it and when like I am feeling super creative. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. I hope you do like it because yeah. Now, I don't know if this is a niche subject, but has anyone else recently finished the Snowpiercer series? I'm not going to spoil anything, but I finished it recently and I had done a build on Snowpiercer. If you've not seen it already, make sure to check it out because I did this like big build of New Eden, and yeah, it's a really cool build. But yeah, I finally finished the show, and what do you guys think of the ending? I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. I will say I think things were missing, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we got another season. But I'd love to hear what you think. But yeah, I finished it recently, and yeah, I thought I'd mention it. I just want to know if there's any fans of the show here. Also, if you have any good show recommendations, let me know because help a girl out, you know. At the moment, I am watching Naruto and I'm on Shippuden now. So I finished Naruto, I'm on Shippuden, and I'm like episode 30-ish. So I'm working my way through and I am enjoying it so much. I have not enjoyed something this much in a very, very long time. It's my boyfriend's like all-time favorite show, so I'm so excited to just be watching it. Like, I feel like he's so excited as well. He's like, finally she's watching my favorite show. Like, he'd been asking me for so long to watch it, and I was like, do you know what, I'll watch it. And I'm so glad I did, and I'm mad that I hadn't started watching it sooner. But yeah, let me know if you know there's any good shows that you guys are watching that you can recommend. I'm very into like dystopian things, if you have anything like that. But I feel like I've seen most dystopian things. You know when you're just really into something and you feel like you've watched literally everything to do with it. I feel like that's me with dystopian. But yeah, I've also been watching a lot of Victorious at the moment. Just going back to my roots of like being a child. I don't know, do you ever do that? I did it recently with Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie is like my all-time favorite Disney Channel show. And I absolutely love the Christmas special, and I will definitely be making my boyfriend watch that at Christmas again. We already watched it like the last 3 years, but we will be watching it again. But anyway, let's talk about the actual build because I haven't in a hot minute. So here I am building some more little homes, and I'm just cluttering up and stuff. And I finished up the little pumpkin patch. Now next to the pumpkin patch is where I end up putting the bar, I believe. And then the little one like down from that ends up being the cafe. And then this little one that I'm doing is the library, and then all of these ones at the back are just little homes. Now again, they're not all decorated uniquely, like some of them are kind of replicated and stuff, but I feel like I decorated a lot of them. I did actually record me decorating them all, but you know that way I was looking at the footage and I was like, I don't think people are going to want to see like this much. So yeah, I ended up cutting a few. I just added my favorite ones in, and like some of the first ones that I did, because yeah, I felt like it was getting a little bit too repetitive. But yeah, and again, there's a lot of tool mod that I'm using. I feel like you could definitely use this as like a tutorial, or maybe not, it's quite fast. But let me know if you ever want to see like a tutorial on the tool mod. It's honestly very easy to use, but it's very scary. I feel like when you look at it, it's very intimidating. There's just so much going on, there's so many like different buttons, but honestly, like, the tool mod is so fun, like once you get the hang of it. You just need to work out exactly what you're doing, and once you work that out, like, it's all good. You're good to go. It definitely took me a hot minute where I was like, okay, wait, how does this work exactly? But yeah, I was like, I have to up my building game. And so that resulted in me learning how to do it quite fast. But yeah, if you ever want any like tutorials, please let me know. I'm more than happy to make them. Like, it is no it's not a problem to me at all. It's you know, it's no big deal. I am so happy to do that. So yeah, let me know if you ever want anything like that, because I'm more than happy to do those kinds of things. But yeah, I think after this we do the bar. I think I've said that like 5 times. But I keep thinking we're doing the bar and then I do something different. But the bar ends up being so cute. I also added these little like trellis things all over the place. I just thought they were so sweet. And yeah, there's just so much going on. There's so many trees, so many plants. Oh, I started with the outdoor dining before. So this is, I believe, from the Riviera kit. I used, wait, is it from that? Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, is it? I might be mistaken. If so, please correct me. But I thought this could be a really nice place for your Sims to sit, eat food. They can use a telescope, they can use the little brooms, which I thought was a nice addition. I don't know how fantasy you want to go with this. If brooms are too out there, you can definitely remove them. But I was thinking maybe something quite fantasy. I love fantasy things. That is, oh, that's my vibe. I've always really been into fantasy, so I felt like the brooms like kind of fit in nicely. But yeah, I thought that would be nice, and then I just added a few extra little details and stuff. Also, I would like to apologize in advance for when we get to the interior of like all of the little homes. For some reason, the camera was going crazy. Like, the camera just didn't want to sit. It kept bouncing all the way up, and then I had to put the walls down, and it was really awkward to film. And I just knew that it was going to be really annoying to watch back, and I just felt like I should let you know. I don't know why the footage is like that. I don't know why The Sims just was acting up like that. I think it's just because there's so much terrain manipulation, and the game was a bit like, where are we looking? What am I focusing on? Which I guess was my fault because I was putting in like so much things. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. I tried to crop out most of it, but it's kind of hard to get everything. But yeah, I just tried to edit out what I could because I felt like it would probably be a little bit difficult to watch. But yeah, here's me placing some rocks. I did say I edited it out. I edited out like the main bits of me like doing just loads of rocks everywhere, but I thought I'd include a little bit just in case you wanted to see how I kind of created the rocky areas. It's not too difficult, there's not too much to it, but I thought maybe if you're working out how I did it, I thought I would just include it. But yeah, I pretty much put these everywhere. These are like my favorite rocks to use. If you watch my build, you probably know that I put them like everywhere. But yeah, I put them all around the build, as you can see here, and I did not include that footage because it actually would have probably taken like, I think it would have taken like 5 to 10 minutes like of the video, and I was like, no one wants to see that. So yeah, we're just doing some little homes back here, and then eventually I do the bar. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna say that I do it because I've been wrong every time. So we'll get to it when we get to it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I really, really like how these turned out. I feel like they look so cute. I feel like they look like they're straight from a little like book, like a little fairy tale and stuff. And I just think they look so sweet. But yeah, I was really happy with these, and definitely encouraged me to want to watch The Hobbit, I will say, and Lord of the Rings, of course. But yeah. Now, in terms of building the shape of these, I just want to say, I just created a box, and then I got the like gabled roofs and I put them against the square room and then pasted it to the other side, and then I took a gabled roof and put it on the top. I think these ones were half gabled roofs, and then I put a gabled roof on the top, curved it with the Shift C key, and then made it into this like little rounded roof piece, and then I just connected them all so that they would kind of like sit together nicely. And yeah, I felt like that was the best way to do it. Now, it does result in the inside of the homes being very small, but for what I was doing, I felt like it was okay. Like it wasn't too bad. But we're starting off with the first home. So this first home, the first one that I worked on was on a diagonal. So I was starting off on hard mode, as you can see. And I made sure to include a kitchen, a bedroom, and of course like a bathroom. Now all of these are like little en-suites, just en-suites, that's not the word, open, what is the word, like lofty kind of rooms, you know. They're all very open, and they all like have their beds with no separation, no walls, just because I couldn't really fit it in otherwise. Everything had to be quite open just because of the shape and the size of all of them, but I really hope that's not too big a deal. I feel like it works really nice, and when I was playtesting, it was really cute. Like there was people sitting on the beds, people sitting like on stools, people just standing at the side, and yeah, I didn't feel like there was any issues with pathing. The Sims seemed to walk pretty well, and yeah, everything worked really nicely, so I'm hoping that it's not too big a deal. I did make sure to include bathrooms and stuff, and I think they worked really nicely too. Some of them are only like 2 tile big, but I do end up making it functional so that they work. And yeah, I think it works really nicely. It's hard when you're on a diagonal because the tiles don't really work as you would want them to. Just because like when you're building on a normal, like when you're not building on a diagonal, the squares are very easy to work out, but when you're building on a diagonal, everything's slightly like smaller. It's hard to explain, like things don't really fit the way you think they will, so I definitely struggled a little bit with that, but I think it ends up all right. It's not too bad. It works for like what it is. But yeah, this was the first thing I did, and as you can see, the camera's already like bobbing up and down a little bit. Even though it's not super extreme, you might still notice it. I don't know why it's like that. I think it's genuinely just like the game trying to work out where I want to be, because there's like mountains everywhere. It's kind of trying to go up automatically, and yeah, it was a whole big thing, but do you know what? It's fine. I don't think it's so bad that like it will, you know, change your view of watching it. I really hope. But yeah, here's the little bathroom, very simple. I do end up switching out the floor for like a stone kind of floor. I just thought it worked a bit better. But after this, I believe I move on to the second cottage, which is the other one that's like on the same level, and that one is not on a diagonal, so we're building on a bit of an easier one. And as you can see, in terms of floor plans, like I switched that up as well. I didn't want everything to be the same. I felt like that would be a bit boring, especially like, you know, they're all different people with their own little stories, so they're all going to have a different layout, a different journey that they're on. Do you know what it kind of gave me the vibes of? It was giving me like Sword Art Online vibes. I don't know if that's just because I've been watching it and like it's giving me that kind of like vibe, but I don't know. The little homes feel like that to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, as you can see, this one's decorated quite differently. I just wanted to have something that was simple but also functional and would work and be nice. So yeah, I also did some what's it called, I did some homes where I only did single beds, just for, just for the sake of it not fitting in the room. So you will notice that as well. They're not all for 2 Sims. Of course, you could still have 1 Sim in here and just have a double bed. That completely works as well. But yeah, here's a little bathroom, and as you can see, I added like the stone to this. I just thought it looked so much nicer, and I ended up changing that in the other one as well, just because I really liked the way it looked. But yeah, I really like this little house. I think this one is one of my favorites. Now, in terms of clutter, you guys probably know I love to clutter things up. I tried to clutter things but also make things minimal, which probably doesn't make any sense, but I didn't want anything to feel overkill. I wanted everything to be functional for you to be able to reach things, but I also wanted things to feel lived in, to feel like, there is someone living in here, like there's personality to it. And so I hope that came across without being too much. I know people are different. Some people love clutter and some people don't. So in terms of these kind of lots where I feel like they're community or they're going to have a lot of people, I try to be a little bit more mindful and make them more minimal, but I definitely struggle with it. And we are finally moving on to the bar. I don't know why I thought I did it so much earlier. Maybe because it was like the last thing I edited, so I just I just thought that it was earlier on. I have no idea, guys. Is the work brain okay? I can't control it. It is my brain. But anyway, I love the way this ended up looking. It's giving me like taverny vibes and I love it so much. And this is right beside the pumpkin patch, so it worked perfectly. But yeah, I tried to use as much of the space as possible, make it really work and stand out and just feel nice. Hopefully you guys like this. I think it worked out okay. And I believe on the, is it like the bit above, that's where I put like the dining table. So if you wanted to have your Sims go here and then like take their food up to the dining table, you could definitely do that. That's definitely an option. But yeah, I just thought this would be really nice. I tried to include a good amount of seating, which was difficult with the size, but I feel like it worked out not too bad, and it works for what it is. But yeah, I did a little bit of shuffling about. I did a fridge, a microwave, a sink, and then also like a little bar for your Sims to order at. And then yeah, just some little details. And then we're moving on to the cafe, and I love this cafe so much. I feel like it's so cute. I wasn't going to originally make this a cafe, but I was like, do you know what? It makes sense. I feel like we can't have a bar and not have a cafe because there's such different vibes. Cafe is like chill, you want to just sit, you want to read a book and have like a cup of coffee, whereas a bar is like, you probably want to like get drunk. So I felt like this was a nice little thing to include so that there's both, especially if you're wanting to do any like dates and stuff. I thought this would be really nice. It depends how you're playing with this, but yeah, I thought that would be good. I went for a very dark theme inside here, which I think worked really nicely. And I also used this wallpaper, which is from the Crystal Creations kit. Stuff pack. It's not a kit, I believe. But yeah, I used this. It felt very whimsical and I was going for that kind of fantasy vibe. So I don't know, I felt like it worked really nicely. You'll have to let me know if you agree or not. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. I tried to make it kind of simple, but also get that point across, and yeah, I love it. I think it works so nicely. And then I think after this, I possibly move on to the library. I might be mistaken, but I'm sure that's the last thing I do. But yeah, I will have screenshots of all of the other homes, anything that I've missed out, anything that you didn't see. I will have screenshots at the end of this video, so make sure to check them out because yeah, I did not include everything in this video just because it would be a little bit too much. But yeah, I love the way the library did turn out because it was very cozy and definitely It's something I couldn't like miss out on. Oh, okay, I did this little room first. In fact, I remember this one. And this one ends up looking so cute, so I had to include it in the speed build. For some reason I thought I just did the library, but I actually love the way this looks. And you will see the camera angle messing up so much in this one. It was really, really annoying, but I wanted to include this because I loved how it looked. It's so cozy, so warm. It just worked really nicely. I feel like I would honestly love to just have this as a tiny home and have my sim live in it, like on its own, just on a lot far, far away. Like this little house is so beyond cute, and I just love it. Definitely would love to hear what you guys think. But yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry that I'm so all over the place and don't know like what I'm talking about half the time, or like stuff I'm saying isn't even happening on the screen. But yeah, I am a little bit all over the place, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even have an excuse. that's just that is just how it be sometimes. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's just how it is. But we are coming to the end of this video, so I just want to say a massive thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I appreciate it. It means a lot, and yeah, it helps me out way more than you probably realize. So yeah, please make sure to do that if you haven't already. And also, if you want to be part of the Cookie Club, which is my memberships, please feel free to do that too. I have quite a few tiers, so you know, you can pick one best suited for you and join. There's a lot of really cool perks, like getting videos early, being able to ask for advice on your own builds, getting like a cute little sticker next to your name as well, and getting like priority for comments and stuff. So yeah, lots of really nice priorities here, but we're finally doing the library, and then I think that's us. But yeah, thank you all so much once again. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions about this build, please make sure to comment them down below and I will answer. But this should be on the gallery, so feel free to download it. Once again, my gallery ID is just iHanza, and if you want to follow my Instagram, it is iHanzaYT, so it's super straightforward. Make sure to follow me there for any updates as well, because I'm pretty active on there. But thank you all so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye!